current member, Board of Trustees at St. Louis College. Today, she will be giving us a presentation on knowledge sharing for sustainable city. With that, please welcome Ms. Ortega with a big applause.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for waiting patiently for all of us to make these presentations. And after Imani has finished his presentation, you can see how IGLE has done it on a worldwide basis. Now with CityNet, we were established in 1987 because United Nations, UN Habitat, UNESCO, UNDP already foresaw that cities would be the engines of growth, that the world would be urbanizing. And therefore, we have to capacitate the city officials and make these cities work. And we have now come up with a green city, sustainable city through knowledge sharing. We have next our next slide, just to show you that there is life after politics. There was life before politics and also life after politics. My stint in politics was only for 9 years, and it has been 10 years since I was away from politics, but I have still continued with my advocacy. And so if you would wonder why I'm still with CityNet, when I was already Secretary General and I still am there, I'm still with IGLE, I'm still with the Clean Air Asia, with the Institute for Solidarity in Asia, which is for good governance, using the balanced scorecard. Synergia is for basic education and improving its quality. And future of places, that we should have green places. And we have the Global Network for Safer Cities. So all of these are actually advocacies that I had when I was mayor and which I continue even beyond politics. So next, please. When I was mayor, this was the vision that we came up with. And I learned that the vision cannot be done by only one person. It shouldn't be done by the mayor alone. It should be done by all the stakeholders. And together we came up with this vision. And I just want you to take note that as early as 1998, we said we wanted to be a clean and green city. We said we want to plant 1 million trees, and that we did. And so we went on and became a member of CityNet. I would like to tell you a funny story how I became a member of CityNet. We were in Tokyo for the World Bank City Development Strategy. And so during the break time, I went to the restroom, to the ladies' room. And the advantage, if you have good water and sanitation, when the toilets are clean, you can do networking. And there I met the program officer of CityNet, and immediately I said, I'd like to be a member of CityNet. And therefore, from being a member, I became the Secretary General and now the Special Advisor. As you can see, our network is of 87 cities, which comprise 60%. Because we want to keep a balance of the stakeholders, that not only city officials should be a member, but also the academe, the NGOs, and the other actors in the city. And these, therefore, comprise our membership. Next. Cities is where, according to the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, he said cities are where the battle for sustainable development will be won or lost depending on the capacity and the leadership of cities. We always said that the cities are engines of growth. This is where you have the cities where people play, where now they don't even play in playgrounds but even on the streets. So this is where the cities show how we live, and this is where we can have fun. We also have this vision that by 2030, Asia-Pacific region will be home to 23 mega cities. And therefore, we will also be dealing with small and medium-sized cities. We have to therefore come up with the problems that crop up in each of these cities. It is therefore impossible to imagine what would happen if there would be no urban communities that are run by good governance. And so we had this during the Asian Urban Forum in Jakarta, where I was the chair, and we discussed the 17 sustainable goals. This is where we start connecting the cities. You saw this slide from Emani earlier, but I would like to ask, could you please stand? Who can tell me the 17 sustainable goals in one go? I know most of you have tried to memorize it, and even I would even like to ask, do you still remember the Millennium Development Goals? You know, we said 17. How can you memorize 17 Sustainable Development Goals? And so we said, it's very easy. We suggested you come up with a storyline. You use words, catchwords to remind you of this. And let me share that with you. First, let's go with the first 5. In the first 5 development goals, actually it deals with a person. When you are poor, you will be hungry. So you have to eradicate poverty and hunger. Once you've eradicated that, then you will have healthy lifestyle, you will have well-being. And when the stomach is full, something will then get inside your head. So this is where quality education comes in. And when you go to school, you would therefore learn gender equality, that men and women are partners. So you're done with the first 5. And then you deal with the next. And this is now going to the home. You need water and sanitation. You need energy. And what else do you need? You need decent job. Because if you don't have a decent job, they will cut your water, they will cut your energy. And with that, you also need technology. Who doesn't have a cell phone? And therefore, we have seen that with technology, you have eradicated inequality. And this is the next 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals. And therefore, you now go to the communities. 11 is where the battle will be won in the cities. And therefore, you need sustainable and safe cities. And when you have a city, what do we notice? We notice that there is irresponsible consumerism. You have millions of trash. You have water and food wasted. So irresponsible consumption should be addressed. And this irresponsible consumption of fuel also contributes to climate change. We have to stop this warming of global warming. And we have to protect the ocean, protect the earth. You're done with the next 15. And how do you go about this? When you do this, when people are not hungry, when people have good quality education, and when people respect one another, then you will have peace in this world. And we can only do this by networking, by partnerships. And this is what we are doing today, partnering with one another, with one organization like ICLEI and CityNet, working hand in hand with UEA, with EU, with ADB, UN, all of us working together to be able to achieve this 17 sustainable goals. And so we should be leaders for metropolitanization, because mega cities are coming in, cities bundling each other to be metropolitan areas. We have to have interlocal cooperation. We have to realize no city is an island. You may be the cleanest city, but when a typhoon comes, a flood comes, all the garbage of your neighbors will go to you. So you have to help each other, and we have to have projects from ridge to reef. We have also this objective, that to make it sustainable, it is by making it a place where humans can live. In fact, I remember that in Busan, their dream is to have a human city. In Bhutan, they want to have a place of happiness. We want a place where we can have good quality of life. And so how do we do this? By networking. And so CityNet has come up with an urban SDG knowledge platform. And in 2002, CityNet won the UN Habitat Scroll of Honor Award for its city-to-city cooperation. This is where we bring together cities for them to learn from one another. And the next please. We noticed though that with technology, there is still that data gap. There are times that in cities, they have learned to gather data, but they don't know how to analyze the data. And so we have to help each one and share this knowledge. And by doing so, we can do it through this urban SDG platform. Next, please. We will be launching this month. And we would like to invite you to join us, establish, this eco-mobility village, by the way, is a project of ICLE, and Suwon is a member of CityNet. So this is a combination of two networks helping one another to come up with an eco-mobility village in Suwon in Korea. We have an international forum on urban policy next. And we will also come up with the best cases that we have had. Since 1987, we will be celebrating 30 years of CityNet this coming November. And we would therefore like to invite you to come to Colombo, Sri Lanka, who will be the host of this CityNet Congress. And we will have cases from these Asia-Pacific cities like public participation in city finance, establishing the eco-mobility village in Suwon, and we have Solo 7017. So learn from these cities. By the way, you can also have knowledge on water, which is being given by the city of Yokohama, the host of CityNet for 25 years. And the next. So, we hope to see you next time in November at Colombo. And we hope that you can be part of the Mayor's Dialogue, the leadership in localizing the SDGs. And I hope that by next time, when I ask, who knows the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, all of us can stand up and tell the story in a very simple way, and then tackle the 165 indicators that we still have to memorize and learn. But first, we have to learn the 17, live it, and practice it in our cities. So thank you very much. Hamsamnida, as they say in Korea, terima kasih here in Malaysia, and maraming salamat in the Philippines.
Thank you, Ms. Ortega, for the impressive